Well, hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me here in my shop. It's September 16th. This is day 2 on this radio, and we're focused on one absolutely critical problem, and that's this tuning capacitor is frozen. Yesterday I started working on it a little bit. I put in some solvent, some WD-40 to be specific. Came in once or twice yesterday through the day and tried working it a little bit. Seems to have gotten a little bit looser, but this is the first time I've tried today. So what do I expect? I expect it to be stuck. Let's see. Okay, well, that's a lot better than it was. Oh, just locked right up here. I don't know why it's got so stiff right there. Let's go a little further if we can. This way. Oh, 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 something's happening there. Oh, heavens, what happened? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look at the capacitor got all bent out of shape. What the heck happened here? That's some rule I mentioned once in a while about don't force anything. Here I am applying heavy force, and they bent these plates. They got, oh my god, they're terribly distorted. What happened? Yikes. Oh, wow. Okay, first thing we do is go downhill. 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 Never had a capacitor do this kind of thing before. Well, obviously the plates got caught in the wheel somehow. So you see the outside plates on the capacitor. This plate here has slots cut in it. See, the outside plates are slotted, and that's to allow a technical procedure where the like you could say this capacitor is fine-tuned, and you can pull a plate out and change the capacitance a bit just in the area of the plate. Well, I shouldn't really say that. But have varying effects over the travel of the capacitor. Is that clear? Back to this. So that's why the plates look weird like that. They're already split. What exactly? They just catch on this gear? How can they catch on this gear? It would look like a simple matter just pushing them back, but when you bend metal a fair distance, you strain the metal, which is to say the metal itself changes and won't necessarily go back to exactly the way it was. It's probably not a critical problem here. It's one plate, it's the outside plate. Oh my gosh. I think you have to reach right down in the area where the plate is not split, way down there, with a screwdriver and start squeezing it back in place down there. Oh my gosh. Before I do that, how stupid of me. Never done anything like this before. How did one plate get so far out? Everybody's quickly rewinding the video and looking. I could do that too. But I'm going to go and have some coffee, calm down my I'm a little shaky. I'm going to calm down a little bit, and then we'll fix that and move on. At least the capacitor's turning. Okay, I'm a little calmer now. So what if I can't straighten these out? And what if this is wrecked the radio? It has not wrecked the radio, but what if it did? Well, these two, with all the fins here, are for the AM reception in this receiver. Almost certainly the person who owns this is going to play FM, not so much AM. So the FM side of it hasn't been influenced by this at all. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, we're going to start by trying to squeeze these back. Use a stiff thing. This is the best I've got. A stiff thing here. And we're going to try to just push way down at the bottom and just squeeze them back. Look at that. Just push these ones out a little bit. So as I was saying, and there's a factory procedure. You know what? This plate has been pushed right up. It's been rotated right up. It's a much more serious situation than the rest. That would mean the metal is really kind of wrecked down at the bottom there. How am I going to pull? How am I going to do that? They're actually overlapping here. They've never ever had anything like this happen before. You can't get a knife blade down there to catch it. Try a small, something pretty thin. I don't know. Boy, this is not. I don't want to bend all the rest of the plate, so I'm trying to straighten this one out. This isn't going to work. I'd like to. Let's see if I can rotate this further. No, I think that's the end of the run right there. So this is as good a look at this as we're going to get. You have to leave it overlapped. A pair of pliers on there and kind of grab it. Very thin-nosed pliers. I don't know. So these ones don't have much grip. Just sliding over it because if they've got no grip, this is not a powerful plier. Let's try these here. Don't use these very much. These have no grip also. Probably not going to pinch really tight out at the end. Let's try it though. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. See, I was talking about accidents, I think, in the last video. And there we go. And oh, too far. I'm going to break it right off. Break it right off. Oh. That accidents happen. They involve 4 factors. You need all 4 factors to have an accident. One of them is energy. So I'm pushing away on this, applying a force, which you could think of as energy if you like. And voila! Now, not wanting to do any more damage, just want to make it so I can go back to working on this capacitor here. Yeah, so the idea of the 4 factors in an accident, 3 of which I can't tell you right now. If you can eliminate any one of the 4 factors, you can't have an accident. I think it's overlapping way down here now. So the problem is when you mesh the capacitor into the lower plates here, if these are bent out of shape, they will rub and short out against the other plates. And this one's very likely to do that on this outer plate here. Oh, son of a gun. Jim, what are you doing here? It's too much coffee. It's too much coffee. So how this happened in the first place, I still don't know. I mean, there's nothing. Oh well, some of you will have replayed the video and have gone, aha! no contact. Oh, contact back here. So the idea in the factory is you're trying to adjust these plates ever so slightly. In many cases they're never adjusted. They weren't adjusted in this radio. And you're trying to get the pointer to track absolutely perfectly along the dial. That's what you're trying to do with that. Well, let's move it again, see what happens. There's nothing here that can cause the plates to just suddenly leap over. Not the best pressure. Did I just do it with my finger? Maybe I have my van out, I just pushed them over. The plates seem very easy to bend. Maybe I shouldn't be pushing on them like this. Oh, come on. The last thing I want to do is break the string here. Oh, that's why I got so far and then the whole thing jammed up. I should have examined it more closely at that point. There's nothing in here that should jam it up. I figured it must have been debris in the sleeve here, the shaft and sleeve problem. Shame on me. Get the wrong idea. It's one of the rules of investigations I've learned a long time ago. Investigations do not end when the truth is known. They end when the investigator is satisfied. That's all. Look at this, we're going to make it all the way here. Now there's no way this is going to put enough. Okay, there we go. This is not my day. The string just broke. Okay, broken string. Examine it carefully because it's giving hints as to where it goes. I have to photograph this. Just bring my phone over and photograph it with that. This might put a little interference onto things. Now hopefully there's a diagram we can refer to about this. So sad, it actually seems to have separated right here. That's where it broke. I think it broke right at the end here. Strings are not fun. I'm taking lots of pictures. Strings are not fun. Especially in these radios. Well, okay, more work to do. This might make it easier to work on the capacitor. So we have the steel wire. Okay. So it's just flying off. It's flying off everywhere. We don't want that to happen. We want it to stay in place. It's probably, the end of it is probably locked on the wheel here. And it's not going to pull away entirely. What a schmozzle. The string here, on the other hand, is really no good anymore. You can see the string had the outer cloth covering, and then it has an inner strength fiber, I guess. You know, here's another piece over here of it. There it is. Oh boy. Okay, well, we're moving ahead and we're moving back at the same time. Just gonna throw that over there. What about this? Okay, you know what? This is loosening up nicely. I think it needs more solvent and lubricant into it. do. So one thing about working on older radios like this, and old anything really, is when you're working on one thing, you accidentally break something out. And I just gave a really good demonstration of that 3 times over. Working on the capacitor, bent the plates. Working on the capacitor, broke the string. Yeah. So this should turn very freely. Now this is a gear-driven guy. So it's not as free as some of these. Really much too tight still. The solvent takes time to work. What's that crunchy sound? Oh, get a good look at the plate here. And these are the kinds of things, especially, oh, the plate is going again. The plate is bending again. Oh no. Oh, it's all done the whole thing over again. What's happening in this? Okay. Something more is going on here. Oh my god. You know, you can bend metal a couple of times, right? Most metals anyway. A couple of times and then break. That's what's going to happen here. It's going to get so weak, even if it doesn't break right off, it's going to get weak, and then every time I go to bend it into place, it's just going to spring back. Oh. Hey, take a break. Yikes. Oh boy. Okay, I think I've calmed myself down enough now to take a look. Let's look with a closer camera. And I think what is happening is the rotor plates are crashing into the stator plates at the back there. Just be catching on a little edge. Like one of them is bent. Oh my gosh. What is that there? Looks like a piece is broken off. Let me point to what I'm talking about because right down in here. Well, you can see the rotor is not crashing into the stator until you get all the way up to this plate. Obviously, the way it is now, it would crash into the stator plate. That's these fixed ones at the back here. These ones that aren't moving. So maybe it was just a little edge out on this, and I never noticed, and caught. Can't have this happen again. This cannot happen again. Oh boy. Look at the situation here. Oh man. Okay. Hey, if you look at this gear, the gear here, you see a copper colored side and a what looks like aluminum or some other metal, like two metals. Like the gear is split. It is split. That's a split gear. I won't go into exactly how it works, but the objective of this is so there's no gear play. Well, let me just show you what I'm talking about with my fingers here. So you can picture a set of gears and then another set coming into mesh. Okay, and they might fit like this, and there might be a little bit of play. Just a little play like that. In many cases, that wouldn't matter. But in the case of a tuning thing, it does, because this means you're turning the dial and nothing is happening. You turn the dial back and forth in this little area here. This would drive you nuts trying to tune the radio. So this gear in the radio there is designed with two geared wheels side by side, and the result is they pinch a little on this. There's a spring involved, and so they pinch into these things. They pinch in like this, so there's never any play. It might be called anti-backlash. I'm not sure backlash is quite the right term. Backlash is where you tune the radio, and when you let go of the knob, it goes back a little bit. And again, a little bit is a lot in a radio like this. And that's caused by springiness in the tuning system somewhere, the string itself or something else. And so you're first charging up the springiness, then you're tuning, and then when you let go, the springiness relaxes and pulls the thing back. That's called backlash. My understanding of it, anyway. Okay, I'm trying to just avoid actually working on this thing here. Let's go back to the other camera so we can see what's up. Maybe I just didn't move this plate enough back here to avoid the collision. And then everything starts. And you can see this would be the colliding plate because it's the one that's pushed forward. All I really want to do is just make sure it doesn't happen again. Oh, it's so weak, it's gonna break. Oh my gosh, I pushed these. Okay, everything going downhill again. Let me get those pliers. Where did they go? I'm losing my mind here this morning. And it's not really a big loss. Here's my tool here. Try these again. I think you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. I gotta push that plate back. Camera's right in the way, so I'm gonna bang the camera when I do this. I've gotta move it out. Okay, you can watch this out of focus. Maybe it's just as well. you don't see what really happens here. Okay, go in and grab, straighten it, and push it. It's going to just come right off like that. Wow. That doesn't look too bad. Well, now we'll just try to bring them in a little tighter. I'm going to bend it from the bottom here. Never gotten into this much trouble with a capacitor. And now I'm going to turn it and watch. It looks like it's pinched way down here. No, it's not. When I look with my eyes, I get ooh. Yeah, when I look with my eyes, I can't see down there. Of course, they've got everything in the way now, camera and the whole deal. So I'm looking at a computer screen, watching the image in the camera. And whenever I do this, I think about doctors who do surgery, through little holes and using doing this kind of thing, watching a camera screen. Oh my God, how do they do it? I mean, if my patient dies, it's just an embarrassment to me. It's not. Well, it would be a loss to the person who owns this radio. I don't want that to happen. I'm trying to do exactly the opposite here. Not quite enough. They got to be out far enough they don't touch the other plates. if it's out too far, it just means the dial's not going to be as accurate as it could be. And who's listening to AM again? At least here. Let's try that. Okay, very carefully this time. Yeah, just gonna scrape right in there. Well, maybe not. Hard to tell, isn't it? These are going to be okay. The very first one is just too close for comfort. Let's see if I can just move it out a little bit here. I'd rather have it out far enough that it doesn't. That's good. Okay, I'd fiddle with that more because that's the kind of guy I am, but I know, keep fiddling with it. The situation's only going to go downhill. I mean, what have I done so far? Broken the string. But you know, did you notice? The capacitor is turning. I'm turning it by doing this. It's getting looser all the time. So if there is a plate contact, we will know it. Well, we know what? This is all AM. So if we're not too worried about the AM, even if it's in trouble. Luckily, the FM plates, there's just a couple of big honkers over here. Oh no, here they come. Unfortunately, today is very gray and rainy outside. There's nothing wrong with those. Hello, hello, hello. It's getting much looser. I think I'm gonna shoot some more. You know what? I've been lubricating the shaft here, but I really haven't given it. Well, I don't think there's really a shaft thing happening down here, but actually I did give it a bit of lubrication, but you can see the black junk down in there. There's the gears. This is getting really loose. This is really loosening up now. It's like I've reached some magic point with it. Yeah, this is going to be workable. So, okay, capacitor has been salvaged. But the string, as you can see, oh yeah, this is loosening up really nice. It's really coming loose now. Well, we're ahead. You know, it's like, have you ever read the book called The Art of War? I recommend you read it. Old Chinese book. Oh, this has come really loose. This is starting to flop almost. Let me go right to the end here. And what you can learn a lot in that book. One of the things it tells you is one of the best things you can do as a military leader is avoid a fight. It's a lot of. Oh, it's really come loose now. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, just cut that wire. That'll help. That'll help. It's almost you can almost throw it. It's so loose. Isn't that amazing? It's gone from rock solid, almost hopeless, to ready to go. Now, if I hadn't broken the string, we'd be tuning this radio right now. Well, obviously, string's next. So what's going to happen here is the lubrication is now fully in. And I don't think it'll tighten up for years and years to come, if it ever tightens up again. Okay. Whew. Wow. Back from the edge. Because bust this, whole radio done. Sad situation there. Now, I have to think about the string. I don't want to think about the string. But you know, I did notice right at the start the string was already partially broken. The outside cover had broken off of it. So it was on its way. Anyway. Well, string time. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a separate video on the string. I don't think I'm going to try it today. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to stop this video. This will be the end of this one. Capacitor problem solved. Rough ride that it was. You know, we could play this radio, and I can just tune it. You know, I can just tune it by this and see what we get. Oh my gosh, why don't we do that? Hey, Peanut. It's raining outside today. You can't go out. There's no going out. Peanut. Peanut. Hey. You. Look at him. He won't look at me. He won't look at me because I'm not doing what he wants, which is to let him outside. In the rain. Okay, good. So I think, yeah, we're going to try playing the radio and tuning it. Right. In a bit. Yeah. Okay, let's give this a go. What I've got hooked up is I've got this FM antenna, fancy looking thing that I'm not so sure this is a great FM antenna, but it does work. And for a broadcast antenna, I have hooked it up to my outdoor antenna, and then I forgot to turn it on. I have to go. That was quick. Okay, I think I'm ready to go this time. Okay, we'll power it on. All looks good. Okay. It's making the shaky sounds. Oh. Well, that was pretty interesting. I mean, I got this cranked up full. So through the dim bulbs, this thing will get 120 volts. But the set is off right now. Well, maybe it's not off now. That was the off button doing its delayed thing. So with the switch off, the full 140 volts showed up over here. What that vibrating sound was, though, that's mysterious. Now my hearing's not so good these days. I got wax in my ears, and so I'm not hearing things in the right direction. Things I think are happening over there are actually happening over here. So I am at a loss. So let's try it again, only this time we'll set this to around 120. I'm still bringing in the dim bulbs, so if so there won't be 120 volts here. There we go. Okay, so we're running at 112 volts, but the set is off. We'll put the set on, we'll turn it on to broadcast here. 77, 79, 90, 96. Should go up and then it'll go back down. 99. Now it's going down. Okay, I hear a hum. Okay, we'll gamble again. Turn this up. Try not to forget that. Quite a hum. I hadn't noticed that before. Okay, let's tune around. The antenna's connected for what it's worth. Oh yeah, I can't get a tune with this. Get a tune with this. Oh my gosh, that's full volume. Short right there. Right there. those plates. Okay, so won't worry about the plate right now. That's enough to find out that the AM side, well, very little volume. Very little volume. Let's just make absolutely sure. Yes, Jim, you still haven't connected the antenna. Hey, let's try this with an antenna on it. Okay, turn it down. Well, that makes a difference. Okay, antennas, important things. There we go. So some of those interference sounds I recognize. They're typical in my shop here. Right in here we should get a station. I'm at the wrong end of the band. Well, tuning something even if it's just noise. Okay, FM. The light came on. Okay, we're now operating with only 94 volts. Let's turn it up a little higher here. 100 should be enough. Well, that's not very good. You expect to hear that FM hiss. Can't tune there. Something happening with this capacitor right at this spot. I can feel it like a safe cracker. You know, I can feel it right there. Now, even though I'm pretty sure these two large sets of plates are not involved, shorting them out may cause this kind of... That's full volume again. I think that's what's happening. These plates are shorting out and it's causing the effect you're hearing. What about the FM? Didn't I hear something just there? Let's fool with this antenna a bit. This is automatic. This is manual tuning. I thought I heard a little station there. Why don't we set this? Let's put this right on the correct voltage here. I'm just going to flip it to full. Oh, something seemed to come to life there. What's going on? Oh, I'm tuning nothing here. Hey, how come we can make it all the way now? Still something happening right in here. Can't do that with this last tube here. Look at that thing. That's a burn your finger off tube for sure. That looks extraordinarily hot. It's really glowing. But these output tubes are like that. But the sound, now I need to wiggle it a bit. I must wiggle it. Let me get some finger protection here. Notice that doesn't make a sound. So that's the tube that's feeding the speaker. Boy, it looks super hot. And wiggling it makes no sound coming out of the speaker, yet these do. These did. Don't anymore. Because I turned it down like a dummy. That makes a little bit of sound. No sound. Okay. What lies ahead here is probably a series of problems that have to be hunted down and corrected. Everything. Let me turn this off. Everything from weak or defective tubes that could be in this radio to just bad components, failure in the high voltage supply system, possibly. There's many things that could be wrong with this yet. So disappointing. It's a very disappointing result. I feel a lot better if we could tune anything in at all and hear it. Well, on that note, I think I'm going to employ this signal generator. It puts out a signal at 100 megahertz. And we're going to try to tune it in because it's very strong, and I know it's there without a doubt. We'll try that out and see what happens. Gotta let it warm up a bit. Okay, let's give this a go. So we're on FM, and this is fixed at 100 megahertz. I can't vary it much. 100 megahertz is going to be something like that. Wow, this moves so easily now. Somewhere in there. Volume, full voltage. Small hiss. Can we find that signal? So even though I have this set to its minimum output level with this control down here, it's still pretty strong. And it's hooked straight onto the antenna here. Really, nothing whatsoever. Okay, UKW. It's definitely RF output. Let's check and make sure. Make sure. No question that it's putting an output signal. It's putting out a signal. No question. Right onto the antenna. We can't hear a thing. This is turned up full. This is set for there. Did I just not get anywhere near the... It's just nothing. Like in most radios... whomp, whomp as I go past it. Okay. Oh. Over here. Oh, right. 100's not in the middle of this receiver. 100 is actually right close to an edge. Where's the oh, the radio dial's right here. I'm running around looking for the radio dial. Okay, so the dial for FM is 100 right on the edge. Okay, that makes sense. See, the capacitor is almost at its limit here. There it is. So it's here, it's working, it's just very, very weak. I think that's what you could conclude from that. Let me try this FM antenna again. Or, what if I just try it with my outdoor wire antenna? Give up on this crazy thing here. Okay, so I'll just switch the antenna. So this is broadcasting enough just in the air here to be picked up. We know this is 100, and I want to be down around 90. So if we're at 100 and I want to be down around 90, I've got to go right to the other end. That's a problem. Doesn't the thing short out on the way? Okay, leaving 100. There's just nothing here. It's just nothing. No, it's not going to pick anything up. Yeah, that shouldn't make any difference. I'm sure it doesn't. No. Extremely weak. Why is that? Any one of a dozen reasons. And we're going to have to work our way through them all, one at a time. Okay, so a bit of a disaster today so far. Broken string is the disaster. Capacitor almost wrecked, but no, not wrecked. Just made me very nervous there. Okay, next step, probably the best thing to do with this radio is test the vacuum tubes and replace any that are weak, if I can do it. And then test the radio again, see if the strength has come up. I think the next thing to eliminate is weak tubes. It's very likely one of the tubes is weak and causing this. Okay, well that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you're clicking the like button, I'd like to thank you very much for doing that. See you in the next video.